It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
And speaking of Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen, you know we can't do a special edition of the Beat Break Morning Show, All Things Considered Atlanta. We can't do a show without remembering the life and legacy of our sister girl, Jovita Moore, a very iconic news anchor here in Atlanta, who unfortunately passed away due to complications from an aggressive brain cancer that she's been suffering and battling with for several months this year. And I wanted to take an opportunity to bring a seasoned news anchor on the morning show. We reached out to so many news anchors, but this one right here is great at what she does. And she also remembers Jovita Moore, being that she has been a great mentor and a role model to this great news anchor that I have on the morning show. We have Simone Jameson on the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much, Beat Break Radio team. It's an honor and pleasure to be on with y'all this morning.
Absolutely. And this is your first time being on the Beat Break Morning Show. I knew you a couple of years ago, back when we had the award ceremony, and you came up to us and interviewed us. And you definitely had some great skills, and you still have some great skills. You did some news reporting for a Fox affiliate.
I
and
did.
Other news stations before that and after that. Mm-hmm.
I did. So after we had met, at that time in my career, I was hosting and interviewing several different people on the red carpet. And it just sort of went up from there. And I started working with the Fox affiliate in Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Is kind of where my TV news reporting career really kicked off. And that was 4 years ago now. And so from the Fox affiliate in Jonesboro, Arkansas, transitioned up to be a reporter in Albany, Georgia, bringing me a little bit closer to my folks in Atlanta, and stayed there for about a year and some change. And now I am here working as a reporter and fill-in anchor and investigative journalist for Watch Fox 57 in Columbia, South Carolina. So about 3 hours away, not too far from Atlanta.
Love it. I love it. Doing big things.
Thank you.
So I'm going to set the stage up as we are remembering Jovita Moore. Shout outs to Rashad Ritchie from News and Talk 1380 WALK, who I had the honor and the opportunity to produce his show this past Friday, actually, 1 week ago. And he was the first person in media, ladies and gentlemen, to break the news story about Jovita Moore passing away from brain cancer. And it was me and another producer in the studio that morning. We were in numb. But at the same time, I thought that it was a rumor. Now, even though, of course, several months ago, Jovita came out publicly and told people that she was diagnosed with brain cancer. It started out as a brain tumor and then aggressively advanced to brain cancer. I still thought it was a rumor. We were, of course, still in that place of rooting for Jovita Moore to recover, to make a speedy recovery. But I didn't believe it. So I took the opportunity to reach out to the parent company of WSB TV in Atlanta, where she has done the newscast for so many years now. The parent company is Cox Media Group. I reached out to a representative from Cox Media Group. And of course, due to legal purposes, the person could not release any information about the status of Jovita Moore. And then a few moments later, Justin Farmer, another news anchor on WSB TV here in Atlanta, of course, told everyone that Jovita Moore passed away. And it was just a very gloomy Friday October 29th, 2021. It was a very gloomy day. Most of us did not expect the inevitable to happen. But let's say you, Simone, when you first heard about the story, when you first heard about the passing of Jovita Moore, what went through your mind?
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take you guys back a little bit. I did not hear about it immediately. Because I had been so busy with work. We're transitioning into sweeps at our station, which is one of the busiest times of the year in news. So I was working on several stories over the past few days. And I remember being in a Starbucks editing a story that was going to air at 5 and 10 that night. And I checked my email, and I'm going through my work email. And there was one particular email that stuck out to me. It was from the Georgia Democrats. It's a group a political activist group that I follow to just for news leads and other tips. And the headline was, Georgia Democrats mourn the loss of Jovita Moore. And I said, wait, what? So I knew she was diagnosed with that aggressive brain cancer, and that did not sound good in the beginning. But I saw this email, and I was taken aback. I was like, it's Jovita Moore? And so then I click out of that email, and I had to Twitter, and there was a tweet from Tyler Perry with a picture of Jovita. And it said, and I'm paraphrasing, but it said, "I will miss your presence in my living room every day. We knew you fought with everything you could." And and that's when it kind of hit me. I said, oh my gosh, Jovita Moore, she passed away. She is no longer with us. And just the extent of my feelings, I was taken aback, and I was shocked. I think I sat there in the Starbucks for a good 5, maybe 10 minutes, and just in silence, because Jovita Moore, over the decades, really has been such an influence to me and so many other broadcast journalists, and not just even us in broadcast, but reporters, really people, men and women in media all across this country. And I remember one of my first interactions with her started in college. I was studying mass communication at Georgia College in around 2010, 2011, 2012, that time. And I sent an email to Monica Kaufman, which was one of the main anchors at the time, and wanting to get a little more insight in terms of how to break into the field, in terms of what to do, how to prepare. And Monica Kaufman responded, and she said, Simone, I'm sorry, at this time, I'm just really busy. I have a lot going on, here at WSB. I suggest that you reach out to Jovita. And later did. And she became not only a role model, but a mentor. And she was that figure really to me and so many other people in the industry. I actually got an opportunity to see her at the National Association of Black Journalists in 2019, but unfortunately did not get to speak to her in person that day. But just really taking y'all back over the years, her kind words, or her words of encouragement, just in being sure of yourself and molding your craft and being able to handle rejection and just taking yourself on a path of becoming better and better. That was the legacy that she left, and those are the words that she left, and that's part of the wisdom, that was imparted on me. And just looking back, just going to the newscast, I would come in and I would watch multiple WSB broadcasts with her and Justin Farmer. It's the two J's, Justin Farmer and Jovita Moore. And I just remember watching her every night and was just thinking, she's so poised, beautiful, graceful, just so many, just poised, just so many high words of esteem that you can use about this woman, because she was so good at what she did. And then she was kind, and she cared, and you can tell that she cared about your success as an aspiring upcoming journalist. She just seemed like she wanted everybody to win. And I think that's what I'm going to really miss the most. After I heard the news, it took me a couple days to process, but I think I was in my room just one day, and I just broke out in tears, and I just wasn't even expecting to. And I was just thinking, man, what she had to go through was just not fair. And just the legacy, and just her kind words, and just her commanding presence too. She just had that aura about her where you just felt like you knew her. I mean, I wouldn't even really say that I knew her very well. I did it on a personal level. I have a mentor that actually was very close friends with her, that I still keep in contact with pretty regularly. But she just made you feel like you knew her, even if you didn't, just with her commanding presence, with her grace, with the way that she told each story. And those are some of the things that stick with me, and that I want to continue to carry on in my own career. That charisma, being relatable, being able to connect with everybody, even though I might not have even met them personally. It's just something that she had it, when you hear about the it factor, people having it, she had it. And I can only hope to be a fraction, 20%, 50% of the legend that she was to Atlanta.
Kind words. Simone, in the industry that we work in, there have been so many times people that we knew of in the news business that have passed away, and some have not been able to get their flowers, or at least until they transition. I felt as though Jovita Moore always received her flowers each and every day, because she was so very iconic in the 20 years and more that she spent doing the news. Every time you see her just in Atlanta, from where I'm from, just seeing her in the newscast, coming with her demanding presence, like you said. I remember back in 2006, she did a newscast about the new mandate for people to switch from analog TV to digital. And for her to just be a part of that historic day and time for people who had television sets, who had analog TV, to switch to digital, it was so great to see Jovita Moore present in that historic moment. And then following after that, just her consistency and her commitment to a big news organization like WSB, and also being the person who had the time in her busy schedule, because we all know Jovita is busy. She got kids, she got her own personal life, but at the same time, she even took the time to just come on other people's platforms and shows to talk about her experiences in journalism and news and in the career that she was in, and touched so many lives, including Monica Pearson that you talked about, Monica Kaufman Pearson, who went on Twitter and said that excellent reporter, anchor, and person. I will miss you on the air. Godspeed and enjoy your granddaughter. This is what Monica Kaufman Pearson said on Twitter about Jovita Moore. And the condolences and the comments are going to keep going on and on and on, because she is still here in the spirit, just not in the physical. But that's how much of an impact Jovita Moore has made to people. And unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity nor the honor to meet Jovita Moore in person as well. We actually, true story, me and at the time, Wandalyn Stokes, who I was also producing for over at WAOK in Atlanta, we were supposed to have Jovita Moore come on her show during the Woman Month March, or the Woman Month. We were honoring and dedicating women of influence. And Jovita confirmed that she will make an appearance on Wandalyn Stokes' show. This was last year, before the pandemic hit. And unfortunately, some things came up on her end to where she couldn't commit to it. She couldn't make it to the studio. And I was like, dang, it would be so nice to have someone of her stature come on a platform and just talk about her experiences, what she's been through, and also give advice and tips to young reporters and even seasoned reporters like yourself on what it takes to survive in this crazy industry, because it is a crazy industry. We've been in it for a long time, but for somebody who has been in it for as long as she did, it would just be so great to hear that from a person like Jovita Moore. I know you got to go, but any last words, any last remarks that you would like to give to the people about Miss Jovita Moore?
Yes, absolutely. And we want to point out that her influence, especially to women of color like myself, as a little brown girl watching a brown girl on a television nightly, commanding living rooms and citizens everywhere across Atlanta, delivering that news with such power, with such authority. That's something that really stuck out to me, as a Black journalist. And that's something that will continue to precede her, and a legacy that will carry on for years and years, and long after even all of us are gone, I feel like. So it was really an honor to see her at NABJ, to receive kind words, to see her broadcast, to study her essentially too, and to see this role model of mine being so very loved and so very highly regarded and remembered, and given her flowers. Sean, you'd mentioned that too, even while she was alive. That was something really touching to see as well. Mm-hmm. But everything that she imparted on all of us journalists, we will pay that forward. I'll be certain to do that, and hopefully one of these days soon. I'm in Colombia now, but the plan is to be back in Atlanta. So we'll see how the months and year ahead unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of the ATL, Simone, I gotta shout out my city, the ATL, for representing Jovita Moore like they have over the past few days in honor and memory of Jovita Moore. Even when she was alive and she was still battling brain cancer, there were signs up, billboard signs up, saying #Stay Strong Jovita. I mean, we really represented the city in honor of Miss Javita Moore. And yesterday in the ATL, there was a public viewing of Javita Moore. And there will be some more information coming out in the next few hours or 1 or 2 days ahead for more information about Javita Moore funeral services. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we are dedicating this entire episode to Miss Javita Moore, but we also got to represent for the ATL. I got on my ATL jacket. I said that I'm going to wear my ATL jacket throughout the entire week, not only just for the Braves and for the election, but also for Javita Moore, because she definitely represented from Atlanta. She wasn't born in Atlanta, but she made Atlanta her second home. She's a New Yorker, and that's one of the things that me and Javita had in common. Like, we're both Northern Southerners. So I thought that was really dope. That was really cool that she definitely represented from Atlanta, even though she's from New York, but she definitely represented Atlanta in a big way.
And so, Sean, Javita and I too had that in common because I'm from New York originally.
Hey!
Yeah, so we're all kind of Atlanta transplants. Yeah. So even though I live in Columbia now, grew up, spent most of my life in Atlanta, but was from New York too originally. So no and call Atlanta the home. Even though I'm in Columbia, South Carolina right now, Atlanta is home.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing you soon, if or when you come back to the ATL and make some big things happen in the news and broadcasting industry. So more great things to come from Simone Jameson. And of course, once again, people can check it out where again?
Check out my broadcast?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to learn a little bit more about me and what I do at Watch Fox 57, you can visit our website. It's wach.com. And in the search bar, if you want to see my reports and my segments specifically, you can search for Simone Jameson. I also produce an Addicted America segment for the station where I produce highly targeted reports about the opioid epidemic and opioid crisis in the Midlands in South Carolina. So that's something interesting that y'all can check out as well.
Absolutely. Simone Jameson on the Beat Break Morning Show. Thank you so much for coming on with us this morning and sharing your thoughts on Javita Moore.
Thank you so much, Sean and fam, for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Happy to do it.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't hear it, on the day of Javita Moore's passing, we are going to play a clip courtesy of WSB TV Atlanta, in which Justin Farmer broke the news to millions and millions of viewers of Javita Moore's passing. And at the end of the clip, there is a very important message that Miss Javita Moore passed on to everyone that became aware of her brain cancer diagnosis before she transitioned. So I want you all to listen to that. And then, of course, coming up, we got the ATL mix by our very own DJ Roland as we continue to celebrate the life of Javita Moore and celebrate the hometown ATL. Stay tuned. Y'all keep it locked. It's the Beat Break Morning Show.
Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.